Chosen one, you've prayed, you've fasted, you've waited, and still there's a stirring inside you that won't let you sit still anymore. That stirring isn't restlessness, it's not impatience, it's a divine signal, a whisper from heaven, a push in your spirit that says, now it's your turn to move. Before we go any further, we ask you to watch this video all the way to the end, because there's something here that your spirit has been waiting for. And once you've felt it, once the message reaches your soul, we encourage you to write in the comments your warmest wishes and the number 77 as a signal to the universe and a sign of agreement. Your energy matters, your words matter, and when we align together, something powerful begins to shift in the unseen. Now, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive deeper. God has done the preparing. He's lined up the moments, positioned the people, opened the gates in realms you can't even see yet. But this next chapter isn't about waiting on another sign or confirmation. This is about trust. This is about the power that comes when you take a step, even if you're not sure where it will land. This is about spiritual motion. And the truth is, your movement activates miracles. It energizes the universe. It causes the unseen to rush into alignment with what has already been promised. God is waiting on you now. The delay isn't denial. The silence isn't absence. It's space, sacred space, for you to respond. Heaven moves in rhythm with you, not ahead of you this time. That's why you've been feeling the urge to do something bold. That's why every time you've tried to settle for comfort, your spirit has grown more uncomfortable. You were never meant to stay where it was safe. You were always meant to carry light into dark places, to walk on the water, to choose faith over fear. And faith isn't about knowing. It's about trusting enough to move without all the answers. So ask yourself, what are you still waiting on? Another miracle? Another open door? Another yes? The yes was already spoken when you were chosen. God's not going to do what He's already empowered you to do. He's waiting for you to speak, to shift, to step, to start. The mountain won't move until your feet do. The winds won't change until your heart obeys the wind already blowing inside of you. There comes a moment in every chosen one's journey where heaven becomes quiet, not because you're alone, but because you're trusted. You are trusted to use what you've been given, trusted to move without applause, trusted to walk without confirmation. That trust is sacred, and that trust is your confirmation. When you were less ready, the signs were louder, but now that you're closer, the signs are subtler. And if you're listening with your soul, you already know this is your time. Every delay you've experienced was part of a divine training. Your waiting season wasn't wasted. It was preparing your discernment, sharpening your instincts, stretching your obedience. But now, the training wheels are off. The voice is gentler, the tests are deeper, and the choice is clearer. Either you move or you miss the moment that was carved just for you. Some doors won't swing open until your hand touches the handle. Some paths won't appear until you put your foot down. God isn't hiding your destiny from you. He's hiding it for you, behind your next act of faith. The next chapter isn't written in the clouds. It's written in your courage. The next miracle doesn't come from waiting longer. It comes from walking further. Your future is motion activated. If you think back to every moment you felt most alive, most connected, most inspired, it wasn't while you were stuck in fear or indecision. It was when you moved, even if you failed, even if you stumbled. Your soul doesn't need guarantees. It needs growth. And growth happens in forward motion, even slow motion, even trembling motion. even motion that doesn't make sense to anyone else. Chosen one, the heavens aren't demanding perfection from you. They're asking for partnership. You and God, walking into the unknown together. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take the next brave step. Because in that step, the power is released. In that motion, your calling takes shape. In that obedience, the supernatural begins to stir. Stop looking at what you lack. Stop counting the risks. Stop trying to predict the outcome. You were born for this moment. Not because it's easy, but because it's divine. Your life isn't waiting on better conditions. It's waiting on your conviction. You don't need another sign from the sky. You are the sign. You don't need permission from the world. You are already anointed by heaven. You don't need to feel ready. You need to feel drawn. And if you've made it this far, then you already know that tug in your chest is real. That ache in your spirit is sacred. That dream you keep seeing, even in your sleep. It's not a fantasy. It's a forecast. It's what happens next when you decide to walk toward what's been calling your name since the beginning. You've waited long enough. You've wondered long enough. Now it's time. Time to get up. Time to go. Time to believe. Time to become. Time to move. There's something sacred about your hesitation. It means you care. It means you're listening. It means you haven't allowed pride to speak louder than purpose. But now, your hesitation must give way to holy action. Because every delay becomes a detour when you linger in fear longer than you were meant to. Fear's language is always, wait a little longer. But faith's language is always go while it's still uncomfortable. You've been trained for this moment, not by comfort, but by contradiction. Every time life tried to convince you that you weren't enough, heaven was silently building you in the background. Every no you heard from the world was a yes from eternity wrapped in silence. Now it's your move, chosen one. Not because the road is easy, but because it's yours. There is no substitute. No one else can walk this particular path. No one else carries your exact combination of battle scars, wisdom, and spiritual DNA. You are a divine original. That means if you don't move, the world misses something it can't recreate. The universe responds to bravery. It moves in tandem with those who choose trust over safety. Miracles aren't behind locked doors. They're behind locked mindsets. You have the key, and the key is motion. It's not about the size of the step. It's about the surrender behind it. When you move, something shifts, not just around you, but within you. Something dormant wakes up. Something ancient comes alive. That sleeping courage, that buried fire, it's waiting on your first yes. And yes, there will be resistance. There always is when something holy is about to be born. Resistance is a sign, not a stop sign. It's a signal that what you're carrying is valuable. And that's why fear is fighting you so hard right now. Not because you're weak, but because your next move is dangerous to darkness. That thought that keeps coming. What if I fail? Flip it. What if you don't? What if this time it actually works? What if you've already passed every test you thought you failed, and the only thing left is to believe again? You see, God doesn't need you to be fearless. He needs you to be faithful. He needs you to move with knees shaking and heart pounding. Because trust that only works when it's easy isn't trust at all. It's convenience. But trust that moves through tears, through confusion, through doubt. That's the kind of trust heaven honors. What if the thing you're afraid of doing is the very thing that unlocks everything you've been praying for? What if you're not stuck, but simply standing at the edge of a new realm that can only be entered by action? This isn't a delay. It's a divine dare, a test of obedience. And not just any obedience, instant obedience. The kind that doesn't wait for conditions to be perfect. The kind that says, even if I can't see, I will still go. Because here's the truth. Movement multiplies clarity. You don't wait for understanding. And then move. You move. And then the understanding comes. Revelation follows action. Power follows presence. And presence follows obedience. You don't become ready by thinking. You become ready by responding. And even if your first step is small, it sends a signal to heaven that you're serious, that you're willing, that you're ready to steward what's next. So many chosen ones stay stuck in cycles, not because they're weak, but because they're waiting for life to hand them a guarantee. But life doesn't work that way. Destiny isn't handed, it's activated. And activation always requires one thing: movement, not perfection, not performance, just your willingness to show up over and over again until breakthrough catches up to you. And breakthrough will come. Not always in the way you expect, not always through the door you knock on, but it will come. Because heaven never ignores movement rooted in faith. That kind of movement creates waves. It shifts atmospheres. It sets things in motion you'll never be able to trace or fully understand. But you'll feel it. Oh, you'll feel it. The moment you say yes, the moment you act, something opens. Heaven leans in. Doors creak. Energy rises. Angels move. This is why the enemy wants you tired, distracted, doubting. Because your next step holds more weight than you realize. Your obedience carries momentum. Your decision to go after what God placed inside of you carries a ripple that will touch generations. You're not just moving for yourself. You're moving for everyone connected to your calling. You're breaking chains that have lasted decades. You're reversing patterns that ran in your bloodline. You're reclaiming what was stolen. You're saying yes, not just for your future, but for every soul your light will awaken along the way. So let this be the moment you stop rehearsing worst-case scenarios and start activating best-case surrender. Let this be the day you stop waiting on permission and realize you already have the authority. Let this be the turning point where your inner fire becomes too loud to ignore, too strong to contain, too divine to delay. Don't wait until the fear is gone. Move while it's still there, and watch how quickly it fades in the presence of obedience. Fear is loud at the edge of greatness. Let that be your sign that something magnificent is near. Chosen one, you're not late, you're not lost, you're not broken, you are ready. And now, heaven is watching, waiting, rooting for you. Not from a distance, but from the inside out. Now take that step. There is a reason the pressure has intensified. There is a reason everything seems to be testing you at once. It's not to break you, it's to confirm you. You're standing at the very edge of your next level. And this resistance isn't a sign that you're going the wrong way. It's evidence that you're getting close. Too close for the enemy to stay quiet. Too close for fear to sit still. Too close for old patterns to remain hidden. But that doesn't mean you retreat. It means you press in harder. Your breakthrough isn't far. It's imminent. But you have to move. You have to move before the details make sense, before the support appears, before the pain subsides, before you feel qualified. Heaven is waiting on a signal. And that signal is your action. Not your perfect plan. Not your flawless strategy. Just a single act of obedience that says, I trust you enough to go without seeing. You have to understand. God has never needed you to be certain. He's only asked you to be available. And movement is the language of availability. You say yes with your feet. You say ready with your action. You say, I believe, by doing the very thing your fear tells you not to do. And in return, heaven begins to move with you. Not just for you. This is a sacred alignment. One step here in the natural can set off a chain reaction in the supernatural. And that step may seem small to you. Making the call, submitting the idea, speaking your truth, writing the first word, closing the wrong door, choosing peace over validation. But to heaven, it is monumental, because your movement gives permission to the miraculous. So many wait for conditions to change, for peace to come, for the anxiety to vanish before they act. But it doesn't work that way. You must act through it. Peace follows movement. Peace doesn't show up, and then you move. You move, and peace begins to meet you on the path. And every step becomes easier, not because the way gets smoother, but because your spirit gets stronger. You're not weak for being afraid. You're not behind for hesitating. But now is not the time to dwell in delay. Now is not the time to rehearse your doubts. You've gathered the wisdom. You've weathered the pain. You've learned the lessons. And now it's time to turn that preparation into propulsion. To stop only reflecting and to start responding. Chosen one, do you realize how long heaven has been preparing this moment for you? The alignments, the whispers, the dreams you can't shake, they weren't accidents. They were signals, and each signal has been echoing the same divine truth. You're ready. You may not feel like it. Readiness isn't a feeling. It's a posture. A stance that says, even if I don't know what's next, I won't stay stuck in what's old. You were never designed to shrink in the face of uncertainty. You were designed to grow through it, to trust the wind even when you can't trace the sky, to believe the promise even when you can't see the path. This is not a season for passive hope. It's a season for holy disruption. A time to interrupt your comfort, to disturb your normal, to shatter the illusion that you can play it safe and still reach divine destiny. God is not asking for your perfection. He is asking for your participation. And your participation begins with a single, courageous move. Let go of the lie that it has to be grand, that it has to be noticed, that it has to feel good. It just has to be real. Authentic movement carries weight in the spirit. When you take a step, heaven hears it as worship. When you shift forward, you shake the ground that has held others back. And it may look invisible on the outside, but inside the spiritual realm, it's an earthquake. This is why the enemy attacks your motivation. This is why your momentum keeps getting hijacked. Because one obedient move from you has the power to unlock blessings, disrupt darkness, and awaken others chained in silence. You are not just moving for yourself. You are moving for every soul connected to your breakthrough. There are doors waiting for you to knock. There are answers waiting for your questions. There are resources waiting for your reach. But nothing happens without your move. Heaven has already placed the provision, the energy, the light, the strength. But you must engage it with your motion. Motion is the key that releases momentum. Don't let comfort keep you where clarity cannot grow. Don't let fear decorate the walls of a place you were never meant to stay. You're too anointed to play small, too awakened to settle for average, too called to sit down now. And even if the world doesn't see your first step, the heavens will. So rise, not because you feel strong, but because movement will make you strong. Rise, not because you know what's next, but because you're tired of staying stuck in what's already done. Rise because something sacred is calling your name from the other side of this decision, and it will only meet you if you move. You've wondered why the weight feels heavier now, why the pull to change is no longer a suggestion, but a burning necessity. It's because you've outgrown the space you've been in, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Your current environment can no longer hold what God has planted inside of you. The discomfort you feel is divine pressure, not punishment. It's your destiny stretching your soul, preparing your spirit for expansion. You weren't meant to stay small. You weren't created to blend in. You weren't assigned to simply survive. You were chosen to shift atmospheres, to shake systems, to spark awakenings in yourself and in others. But none of that happens until you move, until you respond, until you make a choice that echoes louder than your fear. You may not realize this, but heaven already celebrates every micro move you've made. Every time you silenced doubt for one more second. Every time you chose to breathe and believe when it felt like nothing was working. Every time you whispered, "I'm not giving up," even when no one else was listening. These moments are not forgotten. They are the foundation of everything that's about to come alive through your movement. And now the time has come to stop tiptoeing around your calling. You've circled this mountain long enough. You've rehearsed the vision long enough. You've prayed the same prayer long enough. God is waiting, not because He's unsure, but because He trusts you to respond. Heaven has done its part. Now it's your turn. No more delay, no more second guessing. The only thing standing between your current place and your next level is a decision to move. Your move may be simple: a phone call, a decision to leave, a moment of surrender, a yes to something new, a no to something toxic. But don't mistake simplicity for insignificance. In the spiritual realm, small steps echo like thunder. Your act of obedience is not just movement, it's warfare, it's declaration. It's you saying, "I trust the God in me more than the fear around me." There is no magic moment of arrival. Destiny doesn't show up with fireworks. It grows in the dark, in the quiet, in the private place where your yes costs you something. It grows in the secret space where you decide to act. Even when no one claps, even when no one understands. That's where spiritual power is formed. In the hidden obedience, in the humble motion, in the invisible commitment to no longer stay stuck. The world will tell you to wait until it's perfect, but the Spirit tells you to move while it's still messy. The world wants proof before faith, but God wants faith before proof. That is how heaven operates. That is how miracles manifest, not because we calculated every outcome, but because we trusted the whisper more than the noise. And chosen one, the whisper has been loud lately, hasn't it? It keeps visiting you in stillness, in the middle of the night, in the moments when you try to convince yourself that you'll do it later. But later is an illusion. Later is the lie that keeps the called from becoming the chosen. Later is the cage that traps potential and buries purpose. You are not waiting on more time. You are waiting on more trust. You are not waiting on a better opportunity. You are waiting on a deeper obedience. And obedience isn't always convenient. It's rarely comfortable, but it is always consecrated. It is always holy. And when you move in obedience, something divine begins to unfold. Not only around you, but through you. Every ounce of pain you've endured is fuel. Every disappointment you've survived is wisdom. Every delay you've suffered has positioned you with precision. Nothing was random, not the betrayal, not the heartbreak, not the silence. It was all part of a map, and now you are standing at a turning point that will change your life if you simply respond. This is the divine rhythm. Heaven aligns with movement. Revelation expands with each step. Favor follows faith in motion. And as you move, you begin to notice what was always true. The path was never empty. The provision was never far. The angels were always close. The door was never locked. It was just waiting for your knock. So knock. Even if your hand trembles, even if your voice shakes, even if the hallway feels silent and the crowd feels absent, knock. And as you do, trust this. The echo of your movement is making waves in places you cannot see yet. The energy you stir by moving in faith is far more powerful than any fear that's tried to paralyze you. The longer you stay still, the louder your mind becomes. But the moment you move, everything shifts. Confusion begins to lose its grip. Doubt begins to dissolve. Clarity rushes in, not all at once, but in pieces, in flashes, in holy confirmations that meet you on the path, never before it. You must go first. God has already gone ahead and made the way, but He's waiting to see if you'll walk into what He's prepared. This is the test, not of your power, but of your trust. This is the moment you stop begging for permission and begin walking in the authority that's already inside you. This is the moment you stop asking, "Am I ready?" and start declaring, "If God called me, I am." You don't need a perfect plan. You need a holy push. And this is it. You have walked through seasons of silence, seasons where it felt like your prayers vanished into thin air. But silence is not absence. Silence is the sacred pause before breakthrough. It's the divine holding pattern where your faith is tested, stretched, and strengthened. Now that pause is over. God is waiting on you to move because your motion releases the power that has been building unseen. Your move is not just about changing your circumstances, it's about stepping into the fullness of who you were created to be. Every step forward is a reclaiming of your identity, your authority, your destiny. You are not just moving to change a situation, you are moving to change the course of your life story. And that change will ripple outward, touching places and people you have never even met. Remember, the universe is not passive. It is energized by your belief, fueled by your action, and activated by your obedience. When you move in faith, you set off a chain reaction that moves mountains, parts seas, and tears down walls. Your steps are holy, your journey is sacred, and your obedience is the key that unlocks the door to all you have been longing for. Fear will try to convince you that staying still is safer, but it is a lie. Staying still in the face of calling is the greatest risk of all. It risks the loss of your purpose, your power, and your peace. It risks letting doubt drown your dreams and letting regret become your companion. Don't let fear steal the glory that belongs to you. You have everything you need inside of you right now. The courage, the strength, the wisdom, they are already there. You have been equipped by every trial, every test, every tear. What you need now is to act on what you already know, to step boldly into the space where God's promises become your reality. Your move is the spark that lights the fire of manifestation. Even if the path is unclear, even if the next step feels uncertain, move anyway. Because motion creates momentum. Momentum creates clarity. Clarity reveals the next step. And before you know it, you are walking a path that feels divinely designed, perfectly timed, and powerfully unstoppable. This is your moment, chosen one. The moment when heaven is waiting, not to lead you, but to walk beside you. The moment when your faith becomes your fuel. The moment when your courage turns into your calling. Don't wait for the storm to pass. Move in the midst of it, because that's where miracles happen. So rise with boldness, Step forward with confidence. Speak with authority. Move with purpose. The universe is responding to your movement. God is waiting on your next step to release what has already been destined for you. The time is now. Your destiny is calling, and you are ready. This is the final call, the moment you've been preparing for your entire life. God is waiting on you, not on conditions, not on circumstances, not on anyone else. The universe is poised, energy is charged, and the stage is set. Your move is the signal that unlocks everything held in the realm of possibility. You may feel tired, overwhelmed, or unsure, and that's natural. But remember, the deepest breakthroughs often come right after the darkest waits. You are not alone in this. Every great move of God's chosen ones has been marked by the tension between fear and faith, doubt and determination. You are standing in that sacred tension now, and it is in this tension that your destiny is forged. Let the weight of your hesitation fall away. It does not serve you anymore. Replace it with the certainty that you were created for such a time as this. Your step forward is not a leap into the unknown. It's a step into the known promises of God. You carry His power, His wisdom, and His love inside of you. You are more prepared than you realize. This moment is not about perfection. It's about progression. Not about having all the answers, but about trusting the one who does. Not about never falling, but about rising every time you do. Your movement speaks louder than your fear ever could. Your obedience is the language heaven listens for. When you move, angels move with you. When you step out in faith, the whole cosmos aligns to meet you. Know this: the blessings you seek have been waiting for your motion to release them. The doors you've been knocking on will only open when your hand pushes forward. The dreams you've been dreaming will only come alive when your feet begin to walk. The power you desire will only flow when you stop hesitating and start acting. Chosen one, the time has come to stop waiting for the right moment. The right moment is now. God is waiting on you to move because your movement activates the divine plan. Your action energizes the universe. Your faith ignites miracles. The power to change your life is in your hands, in your feet, in your heart. So rise up with all the courage you can muster. Take the first step, and then the next. Speak the word, make the call, send the message, open the door. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just the first step, and God will illuminate the rest. The universe is waiting for your signal. Heaven is waiting for your yes, and your destiny is waiting for your move. Move now. Chosen one, every step you've taken has led you to this very moment. Every challenge, every test, every silent night has forged you, preparing you for the path ahead. But remember, this journey never truly ends. Walking it, staying in motion. That is your sacred calling, because those who move are the true architects of the divine plan. So now, close your eyes and listen deeply to that profound calling within your heart. That call is urging you forward, pulling you away from what holds you back, transforming you into the hero of your own destiny. It is not a whisper, it is a powerful, clear summons, but only those who choose to hear can understand its true meaning. Do not let your fears stop you. Fear is merely a force testing you. Its true purpose is to ignite the fire of faith burning inside you. When you walk through fear, you discover your real power. And never forget, you are never walking alone. An unseen force, present and strong, supports and protects you every step of the way. Your task now is to move, to release that divine energy within you. This energy holds the power not only to transform your own life, but to ripple out and awaken the lives around you. Your movement becomes a beacon of inspiration. Your courage births courage in others. Remember, the universe awaits your motion. The divine plans are triggered by your step. Delay is nothing but a chain binding you, and breaking those chains is in your hands. When you move, those chains shatter. Doors swing wide open, and a new chapter of your life unfolds. So open your eyes and move forward. Be bold, be strong, believe and act, because real transformation begins the moment you choose to move. Chosen one, as you stand on the brink of breakthrough, know this: the universe conspires with those who dare to move. Your hesitation has been felt, your prayers have been heard, and now the moment for action has arrived. This is not just about making a move, it's about stepping into your God-ordained destiny with unwavering faith and unstoppable courage. Every second you delay is a moment of power slipping away, a blessing paused, a miracle waiting to unfold. But when you choose to move, even the smallest step becomes a declaration. I trust God's timing. I trust His plan. I trust myself to walk forward. This declaration sends shockwaves through the spiritual realm, awakening angels, aligning stars, and breaking chains that once held you captive. The path ahead may seem uncertain, the future unclear, but remember, faith is not about seeing the whole staircase. It's about taking the first step. You don't have to have it all figured out. You only need the courage to begin. And with each step you take, clarity will come. Doors will open. Opportunities will reveal themselves. The supernatural will become natural. You are not moving alone. Divine forces move with you. Every act of obedience is a spiritual key, unlocking hidden blessings, opening doors, and setting destinies in motion. The power within you is greater than any obstacle. Your heart's calling is stronger than any doubt. So rise up, chosen one. Step boldly into your purpose. Let go of the need for certainty and embrace the power of trust. Your movement activates the divine. Your faith fuels miracles, and your courage changes everything. Now is the time. Move forward. Move with faith. Move with power, because God is waiting on you to move, and when you do, the world will never be the same. Chosen one, the journey you're on is unlike any other. It is a sacred path woven with trials and triumphs, silence and revelation, waiting and action. And right now, you stand at a pivotal moment. The moment where hesitation must give way to decisive movement. You've been prepared in ways you cannot fully understand. Every challenge was a lesson. Every delay was a divine appointment in disguise. Heaven has been orchestrating circumstances, aligning people, and setting the stage for your move. But the final step belongs to you. Your willingness to step forward is the key that unlocks the next chapter. Understand this. Movement is not always easy. It often comes wrapped in discomfort, uncertainty, and fear. But it is in that discomfort that growth takes root. It is through uncertainty that faith is refined, and it is facing fear head-on that true courage is born. You are called not to wait for the perfect conditions, but to act in faith despite the imperfections. The universe responds to action rooted in trust, not in certainty. Your move, no matter how small, sends ripples across dimensions, stirring angels, shifting atmospheres, and activating blessings long promised. Remember, chosen one, that you carry within you the authority to change your story, the power to break chains, to open doors, to rewrite your destiny is already yours. But power unused is potential wasted. It's your move that turns potential into reality. So rise up, with boldness. Step into your calling with confidence. Let faith be your fuel and courage your companion. Every step you take is a victory. Every move forward is a triumph over fear and doubt. God is waiting on you to move, and when you do, miracles follow. The heavens align. The impossible becomes possible. Your life transforms. Move now. The time is yours. Chosen one, the final truth you must carry deep within your spirit is this: movement is your birthright. It is the very essence of your divine design. You were created to walk forward, to break barriers, to fulfill the calling written on your soul before time began. Every hesitation, every pause, every moment of doubt has been preparing you for this sacred step. But now, waiting is no longer an option. Heaven is poised, ready to pour out blessings, unlock doors, and ignite miracles. But it all hinges on your move. You don't need to feel ready. You need to be willing. You don't need to see the whole path. You just need to take the next step. And in that step, all the forces of the universe will come to your aid. Angels will flank you. Opportunities will manifest. The power of God will flow through you like never before. This is your moment of activation. Your movement sets everything into motion. It is the key that opens the gates of destiny, the spark that lights the flame of purpose, the roar that awakens the sleeping potential within. Never underestimate the power you carry. Never doubt the significance of your obedience. The simple act of moving forward is the most profound declaration of faith and trust you can make. So rise up, chosen and beloved. Step boldly into your future. Move with confidence and courage. The universe awaits your signal. God is waiting on you to move, and when you do, the world will never be the same. Move now. Your destiny depends on it.